What if one morning, humanity simply decided that sleep was a waste of time? Imagine a world where no one closes their eyes, no one dreams, no one stops. The sun sets, cities stay awake, and productivity becomes the new religion. At first, it feels thrilling, a revolution of endless motion. We convince ourselves that rest is for the weak, that those who keep going will achieve more, become more. You've probably felt that strange sense of pride after pulling an all-nighter. The world feels a little sharper, a little more yours. The clock becomes an ally, not an enemy. What if the real reason we chase sleeplessness isn't ambition, but fear? Fear of missing out, of falling behind, of being forgotten by a world that never pauses. Now picture that fear becoming a global mindset, a planet that never sleeps. Factories humming, lights forever burning, minds running like engines that never cool. At first, progress skyrockets, and as we erase the boundary between day and dream, we begin to forget what it means to be alive. Sleep isn't weakness, it's the balance between chaos and creation, the invisible bridge that keeps us human. We simply forget how to stop. You stay awake for one night, and the world doesn't end. It actually feels like it opens up. The quiet hours stretch longer, the air feels sharper, and for a moment, you feel invincible. It's almost intoxicating, this illusion that you've outsmarted your own biology. You feel alive in a way that sleep never made you feel. But that's the trap. It feels like control, when in truth, it's the first sign of losing it. By morning, your body is buzzing with a mix of adrenaline and dopamine, the chemicals of reward and survival. You mistake them for energy. Coffee tastes stronger, ideas flow quicker, and the mirror reflects someone who looks a little more determined than yesterday. You tell yourself this is proof that rest was overrated all along. Shift. Your hands fidget without reason. Your heart beats a touch too fast. A familiar word hides somewhere in your mind and refuses to surface. It's small, barely noticeable, but it's there. Then comes the irony. This version of you that feels unstoppable is actually running on fumes. The brain starts rationing focus like a city in blackout mode, redirecting energy away from long-term thinking into quick, reactive bursts. You start talking faster, moving faster, but processing slower. The line between brilliance and burnout begins to blur. By the third day without sleep, something inside you begins to fracture. It doesn't happen all at once. It's subtle, almost deceptive. You start forgetting small things first. The name of a colleague, the reason you opened a drawer. A word you've said 1,000 times refuses to leave your mouth. You laugh it off, blame distraction, but deep down, you sense it's something else. Your brain, once sharp and quick, feels like it's wading through fog. Then comes the irritability. Every sound feels too loud, every face too close. The hum of a light bulb grates your nerves. A friend says something harmless, but your reaction is sharper than you intend. It's not anger, not really. It's your brain begging for quiet in a world that won't stop spinning. You notice your reflexes dulling, spilling coffee, missing steps, fumbling keys. The simplest tasks demand focus you no longer have. You start noticing your hands trembling when you reach for something, a signal your body sends before words can. By 72 hours, the world stops behaving the way you remember it. Sounds echo where they shouldn't. Shadows seem to move on their own. You catch flashes of color in your peripheral vision, and for a fleeting second, you're not sure what's real. Hallucinations creep in like whispers at the edge of perception, not nightmares, but distorted fragments of reality, stitched together by a desperate mind. Now imagine this sickness spreading beyond one person. Imagine an entire world that forgot how to sleep. At first, it feels like a golden age. Cities never dim, factories never stop, and human ambition knows no closing hour. Governments praise the eternal workforce. Productivity triples. Economies bloom in the light of constant motion. Streets pulse with energy even at 3 a.m. And no one remembers what silence sounds like. For a while, it looks like evolution. Humanity finally breaks free from the rhythm that once chained it. But nature never breaks. It only waits. Soon, the cracks begin to show. Children, once curious and bright, now stare blankly at screens, their imaginations fading like forgotten dreams. Teachers forget lessons mid-sentence. Hospitals overflow with bodies that can't heal. Without sleep, art disappears first, then empathy, then reason. Music sounds mechanical, laughter feels hollow, and conversations dissolve into confusion. Humanity keeps moving, but no longer knows where it's going. There's no night to separate one day from another, no dream to remind people what peace feels like. Civilization doesn't collapse in flames. It just forgets why it existed. And in that restless silence, something haunting becomes clear. Because sleep was never our weakness. It was our heartbeat. Without it, the planet keeps spinning, yes, but everything on it begins to lose rhythm. The lights stay on, but the soul goes dark. The world isn't resting. It's unraveling, and it doesn't even know it yet. Inside your skull, a quiet rebellion begins. The brain, that loyal servant you've always believed was under your command, starts to turn against you. Neurons that once fired in perfect harmony now spark out of rhythm, like musicians playing out of tune. Every decision you make feels a little heavier, every thought a little slower. The machinery of consciousness, that miracle you take for granted, begins to rust in real time. It's not because you're lazy, it's because your brain is drowning in its own chemistry. The brain, desperate to protect itself, begins shutting down connections, rationing power, pulling levers you can't reach. You may think you're staying awake by choice, that your willpower is stronger than biology. But that's the illusion. The body doesn't negotiate with arrogance. It listens only to physics, chemistry, and time. And in this silent protest, the brain sends warnings disguised as confusion, mood swings, forgetfulness. It whispers, then screams, "You can't live without me resting." It's not punishment, it's preservation. The mind you're trying to overrule isn't betraying you, it's saving you from yourself. Muscles ache for no reason, your heartbeat stumbles, and your skin feels both heavy and weightless at once. But the real collapse isn't in your body, it's in your perception. Hours stop behaving like hours. The brain, desperate for stimulation, begins to invent its own world. Hallucinations bloom like invasive flowers, blending imagination with memory. Your name feels foreign. Your thoughts feel borrowed. You are awake, but the part of you that once defined reality has quietly left the room. At last, the body gives in, not as a sign of weakness, but as proof of balance. After the chaos, after the noise and confusion, the mind slips back into silence, and the miracle of sleep begins again. Brainwaves soften, muscles release, and billions of cells start repairing the damage. It's not surrender, it's design. Every heartbeat slows into rhythm. Every thought untangles itself. You realize now that sleep was never stealing time from you. It was giving time back. Rest isn't the enemy of ambition. It's the foundation of it. In the quiet, your mind returns to you, restored, renewed, reborn. Because sleep doesn't end your day, it saves your life. Sleep isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Back in 1964, a 17-year-old named Randy Gardner decided to test what would happen if he didn't sleep. 11 days later, he had his answer. His speech began to slur, his memory fractured, and his sense of reality collapsed. He saw shadows move, heard voices that weren't there, and forgot what day it was. Scientists observing him noticed his body fighting to shut down, even while he forced himself awake. By the end, his mind wasn't his own. It was simply surviving. Randy proved what nature already knew. Sleep is not optional. It's the code our biology lives by. When he finally closed his eyes, it wasn't defeat. It was healing. His body didn't punish him. It forgave him. And in that forgiveness lies the truth we all forget. You can silence alarms, delay meals, or ignore people, but you cannot outsmart the need to rest. Because the one thing we keep trying to escape is the very thing that keeps us human. He proved the point, so you don't have to.